Picture a small house in the village of Bethany. The air is filled with the smell of bread baking, the sound of voices, and the shuffle of footsteps. A guest has arrived, Jesus himself, and suddenly the house comes alive. Two sisters respond in very different ways. Martha, the older sister, feels the weight of it all. Hosting Jesus isn't just any visit, it feels like history and eternity have walked through her door, so she moves quickly. Pots clattering, bread kneaded, water poured, dishes set. Her mind races. Everything has to be perfect. Meanwhile, her sister Mary does something unusual. She doesn't help in the kitchen. She doesn't rush to prepare. Instead, she walks into the living room, sits down at Jesus' feet, and listens. No apron, no flour on her hands, just stillness, just presence. Martha glances over, and her frustration bubbles up. She's sweating, carrying more than one plate at a time, and Mary is just sitting. Finally, Martha can't take it anymore. She goes straight to Jesus and says, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." It is the kind of moment we've all had, when it feels like we're redoing everything and someone else gets to rest. But Jesus doesn't scold Mary. He looks at Martha with gentleness and says, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things. But few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Mary had chosen presence over pressure, relationship over responsibility, listening over rushing. That moment in Bethany feels familiar, doesn't it? Because we live in a Martha world. Deadlines, appointments, chores, phones buzzing, the pressure to do and achieve and keep up. And sometimes, in the middle of all that noise, we forget that the most important thing isn't what we were doing for God, but simply being with Him. Mary wasn't lazy. She wasn't careless. She was courageous. It took courage to sit down when the world expected her to be up and serving. It took courage to say, "This moment with Jesus matters more than the pressure to perform." So what about us? Maybe the invitation of this story is not to abandon our responsibilities, but to remember that our worth is measured by them. The invitation is to pause, to sit, and to choose presence over pressure. Because when everything else fades, the dishes, the deadlines, the demands, what will remain is the part we chose in His presence. And that will never be taken away. Mary of Bethany teaches us this. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is stop and listen.